So if you've been disappointed in any of my conversations on News Desk, part of the Closing Tag Network, you're going to be very disappointed in this one today. That's because I'm going to call out a bunch of bullshit. Okay. So before I do that, I wanted to give you a history lesson. 2005, very few people may know this, but Denzel Washington, one of the most recognizable and most critically acclaimed actors of our time, tried his hand at Broadway. He actually had a play on Broadway back in 2005 titled Julius Caesar, where he played Julius Caesar. Google it if you don't believe me. Now, it wasn't very long-lived because it just wasn't that good. A lot of people gave it, if Rotten Tomatoes had a Broadway meter, it would probably be certified rotten. And the play didn't last very long. It barely lasted the season before they shut it down. And I think the reason is because you're taking a screen actor, someone who's used to acting on a script, acting, in front of a television camera, and you're putting him on a Broadway stage. Bear in mind, the differences between screen acting and play acting are extreme. There's no takes. There's no, okay, let's try that again. It's one shot. You fuck up, that's it. That's stuck in there. So it's very difficult to pull off, for screen actors to pull off, play acting. So it's not surprising that it didn't last very long. The reason I bring that up is there was a lot of criticism at the time about the play. Denzel's acting wasn't that good. Some of the supporting cast seemed uninterested. Number of things. One of the things that you did not hear at the time was Bill O'Reilly or Tucker Carlson or Sean Hannity or any of these talking heads, conservative talking heads, saying, what is it with this woke agenda? What is it with recasting prominent roles as black people? Stop trying to shove your woke agenda down my throat. Bullshit like that. And the reason being is because at the time, there wasn't a gigantic pressing need to turn everybody, against, people that fit under the minority role. Even though technically speaking, the white male Christian demographic is starting to shrink more and more. And I think that's another big reason why. There is a lot of faux outrage in the media. And don't worry, I will get to the liberal media too on this one. Bear with me on this. The overwhelming sense of dread that the white male Christian demographic is becoming more and more of a minority. And I think that's the biggest reason why you're seeing more and more faux outrage in the media. The fact of the matter is, back in 2005, we were still very much in the middle of the war on terrorism. Now, whatever you want to say about the war on terrorism, Dick Cheney fabricating stuff to declare an illegal war, the missing weapons of mass destruction, whatever you want to say about that, you can say about that. We're not here to talk about that today. But I am sensing more and more and more people just in interactions, whether I interact with people in real life, either at the bank or in the store or just pumping gas or whatever. More and more people are getting bamboozled by this faux outrage by the media. And it's on both sides. It is not exclusively a right-wing propagandist problem. The fact of the matter is that a lot of the issues that we're dealing with right now are as a result of the media pushing this faux outrage. I mean, if you can go an entire day, not an entire day, an entire afternoon without hearing someone bitching about the woke agenda or DEI or, communism or any of that shit, then bravo. I salute you for being a hermit. Because there's no way you can go more than 4 hours as you're awake without hearing someone bitching about, oh, what is it with this woke agenda and da-da-da-da, or that person didn't earn a damn thing, it's DEI, or why do they have to shove CRT down my kid's throat, or Californians moving here, damn communists. First of all, I want to challenge everybody listening to this. And you can use Google, you can use any number of the rants that I've made on this podcast or on the Legacy podcast, the Legacy, the old Closing Tag podcast. I want to challenge everybody listening to this to do one thing today, whenever this episode drops. That's still to be determined. I want to challenge everybody listening to this to do one thing, and that is clearly, without the use of memes, without the use of parroting right-wing bullshit, without any of that, clearly define what it is you mean when you say something is communist or when you say something is woke. What is it exactly that you're upset about? What is it exactly that you're afraid of? If you can do that, I salute you. But unfortunately, every time that I challenge someone on social media to, define communism or define woke, what it is that you mean when you say that everything is woke and everything is communist, I get bombarded with memes. I get bombarded with parroted right-wing bullshit. I get bombarded with absolute bullshit without any clear explanation. And it's gotten to the point where I just tune all of it out. Now, liberal media, don't think I've forgotten about you. Because all this bullshit in the media about how Donald Trump is the modern age Adolf Hitler. First of all, Adolf Hitler was never this dumb. I'm sorry. Second of all, he's not really, calling for people to be sent into concentration camps or calling for the one supreme race or anything like that, as my phone's going off. No, he is simply, trying to make America great again. As I'm using air quotes on that one. The fact of the matter is that he's only doing what Fox News and Breitbart and all these right-wing propaganda machines have been trying to do for the last 20 years. And that is clearly defined that anybody that is not white, male, or Christian, or conservative, is basically lesser than. Now, you could equate that to the Nazi propaganda back in 1935. And you'd have a good argument, but I don't think that makes Trump Hitler. Now, I have no love lost for the guy. At all. I hope he gets raked over the coals legally, and I hope he is forced to spend the rest of his days in trouble with the law in some form or another. But the fact of the matter is that all he's doing is he is playing the Fox News playbook perfectly. So, let's table the whole Adolf Hitler talk, shall we? Okay. Also, Adolf Hitler never got to 9-digit figure debt because he couldn't keep his dick in his pants. Sorry. So, that's basically my whole rant for today as far as the media goes. Another thing I want to challenge everybody that's listening to this is I want to challenge you to actually think outside your bubble for, it doesn't even have to be a day. Just venture outside your little bubble for even 20 minutes. Talk to people and see what it is exactly that they're worried about. What it is exactly that, that's making them afraid. A lot of it right now, if you talk to anybody on the left or the right, or even in the middle, is two things: the economy and leaving behind a world that their kids can grow up in, that they're going to be safe in. That's it. That's really it. And I think if people take the time to really talk and to really try to understand other people's perspective and try to understand what it is that they want, you're going to find that you have a lot more in common with people outside your bubble than you do, or than you realize. So that's really the two challenges that I have for everybody listening to this. And really, really try to think for yourselves. Don't listen to the media. Don't listen to what, Fox News or CNN or Breitbart or OAN or whatever, talking head that you're listening to. First of all, talking heads, if you're getting all of your information, all of your news information from people on opinion shows, that's a problem, first of all. Because the fact of the matter is that all those opinion shows is someone giving an opinion. Granted, that's exactly what I'm doing right now, but at least I'm open and honest about it. The old saying, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and most of them are full of shit. So, with that being said, I would love to hear your thoughts on, what it is that you have as a preconceived notion. I was thinking of the word there for a second. What preconceived notions do you have, and what it is that you're going to do to kind of venture outside your bubble? I am one that likes to think that, I like to think I'm a critical thinker. I'd like to think I'm an independent thinker. It's one of the reasons why I don't get, all up in arms about, all the bullshit with Trump. But that's just me. What are your thoughts? If you are listening to this on Spotify, reviews are open. If you are watching this on Facebook, like, share, comment. Now, if you are watching us on Facebook, leave a comment about what it is that you're going to do as far as trying to understand where people different from you are coming from. Are you going to have a conversation with them? Are you going to, try to better understand what CRT means, or what DEI means, or what any of these acronyms that you're so afraid of mean? And you can leave that same comment if you're watching this on YouTube. And while you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications. That way, once a new video drops, you are notified. I'm going to try to get back on a schedule. It's been a pretty chaotic last couple of months. So do keep that in mind. And I want to thank everyone for listening, for watching, for downloading, for donating, for doing everything you can to help support this podcast. Your efforts are not going unnoticed. So thank you. And until the next time that I drop a video like the media drops a deuce, remember to include your closing tags. Thank you.